Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be looking at salaries and wages, okay? And this is really a very important part of the syllabus. This is where you're likely to get a question from, okay? So it says a salary is a fixed amount of money or compensation paid to an employee by an employer in return for work performed, okay? So a typical example is you go and you work a summer job, right? And they pay you $10,000 a week, and that's your salary, okay? That's how much you're paid. That's your compensation for working that little summer job, right? And it says salaries are commonly paid in fixed intervals. For example, monthly payments, which one out of 12 payments of the annual salary, right? So you get a monthly payment, and if you multiply that by 12, that would be the gross annual salary. Cool. And the gross annual salary or the gross monthly salary is just your salary before taxes. Okay. So gross means the total or whole amount of something before the taxes, right? And while net means what remains from the whole after certain deductions are made. So this is after you take away the taxes. That's what net means, right? And it's important to know the difference between gross and net. All right, guys? All right, so it says here as well, the gross monthly salary is equal to the annual salary, meaning your salary for the whole year, divided by 12. All right. All right, so let's look at some more examples. We're going to look at some formulas here, okay? All right, guys, so we're back in it, and we're looking at some examples here of these formulas. So let's look at these two formulas here. These four formulas, right? One is for the gross and the other is for the net salary. So the first one says the gross monthly salary times 12 is equal to the annual salary, the gross annual salary, and the gross monthly salary is equal to the gross annual salary divided by 12. Also, this says the net monthly salary is equal to the gross monthly salary minus the taxes, right? So that's what net is. Net is after taxes. And the net annual salary is equal to the net monthly salary multiplied by 12. All right, so let's look at these two examples. Let's try to do these two examples from using the formulas above. And it says the gross monthly salary for an accountant is 1.9 million JMD for the year. What is his gross monthly salary? All right, so let's just calculate that. So his gross monthly, right, salary should be equal to the gross annual, right? The gross annual salary divided by 12, right? So this should be equal to the 1.9 million, right? So that's the 1.9 million divided by 12. Cool. And we should actually get 158,333.33 JMD. Okay? So that's how much he earns per month, okay? Before taxes. All right, so let's do the other one now. Let's just put the answer here, 158,333.33. Cool. So let's do the other one now. Let's just clear the screen. All right, guys. So the second one says a musician called Austin Post, right? Also known as Post Malone, is paid $100,000 for a show each night he performs. That's his gross amount, right? Before the taxes. If he performs 200 nights for the year, what is his gross annual salary, right? So his gross annual salary, right? His gross annual salary would be the 200 shows, right, multiplied by the $100,000 per show, okay? So he would end up with 20 million USD for the year if he gets $100,000 per show and performs 200 shows for the year. All right, that's a lot of work. Being a musician is hard work, guys. All right. All right, so let's look at some net examples now. Okay. All right, guys. So back in it, and we're looking at a follow-up question from what we did earlier. Remember, the accountant's salary was $158,333.33 Jamaican dollars, right? His gross monthly salary was that amount, and Austin Post's gross annual salary was 20 million USD. So the question for the net now says calculate the accountant's net monthly salary if income taxes are 33 and a third percent. Okay, so it says here the net monthly salary is equal to the gross monthly salary minus the taxes. Okay, so let's just do that. The net monthly salary is equal to the 158,000, right? 333.33 minus the taxes, and it says taxes are 33 and a third percent, 33 and 1/3 percent, right? Which is 1 over 3, right? So we're gonna subtract 1 over 3 multiplied by the 158,333.33, and we can work this out with our calculators, okay? All right, and when we work it out with our calculators, guys, we get 105,555.55 cents. All right, so this is the net monthly salary for the accountant. Okay, so let's just put that down here. Net is equal to 105,555.55. Cool. All right, so let's calculate Post Malone's salary now. All right, so it says calculate Austin's salary if the federal income taxes in his state are 17%. Cool. So the net annual salary is also equal to, it says here the net monthly salary multiplied by 12, but it's also equal to the the gross annual salary, right? Minus the taxes, okay? So it's also equal to the gross annual, which is the 20 million, minus the taxes, right? Which is 17% multiplied by the 20 million. Cool? So remember to read the question, guys, and think about it, all right, before you answer. Okay, so this should actually, you'd end up with 3.4 million here minus the 20 million, and you'd actually end up with 16.6 million. Cool. And that would be Post Malone's annual salary, net annual salary. Okay. Right, so that's his net annual salary. Cool. All right, so we're going to look at wages in more detail now. This is just a general explanation of wages, but we're going to look at basic wage now. All right, guys. All right, guys. So we're looking at basic wage now. All right, and let's take our time with this. Basic wage. It says people who work in factories, construction, call centers, barbers, hairdressers, and basic forms of service are usually paid a specific amount each hour for work done during that period. The amount for each hour of work is called the basic wage. Okay? That's the amount for each hour of work. Okay? Most persons work 5 days a week at 8 hours per day, right? And 5 times 8 would give us 40 hours. Most persons work a 40-hour work week. And this 40-hour work week is called the basic week, right? And the amount of money earned during the basic week is also called the basic wage. Cool? So the amount that the person earns per hour, they call that the basic wage. The amount that they earn per week, they also call that the basic wage. All right, and this says there are times when workers are paid every 2 weeks, right? And every 2 weeks is considered fortnightly. And 10, which is the 5 days you work, times 8 would be 80 hours per fortnight. And this is called the basic fortnight. The amount of money earned during the basic fortnight is also called the basic wage. So you notice the basic wage is called a lot of things, right? It's called the amount you earn per hour, the amount you earn per week, or the amount you earn per fortnight. So they have many terms that they call the basic wage, but basically, in a nutshell, the basic wage is just the basic amount you get paid. Okay? All right. So let's look at some examples now. All right, we're going to look at some formulas. Okay? All right, guys. So we're looking at these examples here. We're looking at these formulas here, and it says the basic wage is equal to the basic rate multiplied by the basic hours per week or fortnight. Cool? So that makes sense. How much you're paid per hour, which is the basic rate, multiplied by the hours per week or fortnight that you work, is equal to the basic wage. Cool? Then it says here the basic week or fortnight is equal to the basic wage divided by the basic rate, right? How much you get paid divided by the rate is how many hours you worked, right? Then this says the basic rate is equal to the basic wage divided by the basic week or fortnight, right? So the basic rate is how much you get paid divided by the amount of hours you work. Cool? So let's look at this example here. And this example says Rihanna works a basic week of 40 hours per week at a rate of 325 per hour. What is her basic wage? Cool. So let's just calculate that. The basic wage is equal to the basic rate, which is the 325 per hour, right? Multiplied by the basic hours per week or fortnight. And right, so she's worked 40 hours for the week. So let's just put that in our calculator, guys. All right, and she's gonna get paid $13,000 for the week. All right. Yes, pretty measly, but people out in Jamaica are actually paying this amount per week, guys. Seriously, just showing you real life. But hopefully you guys won't be getting paid anything so low, right? All right, so let's move on now, guys. Let's look at some more examples, okay? All right, guys, so we're going to look at these two examples now. All right, so let's look at the first one here. It says Michael gets paid 20 US per hour as a salesman and he works 40 hours per week. What is Michael's basic wage? All right, so let's just write this over here. Number one, Michael's basic wage is equal to $20, right, multiplied by 40, right? So Michael gets paid 4 times 2 is 8. So Michael gets paid 800 US per week, right? Which is pretty good salary, right? And 2 here says Shanake gets paid $300 an hour and works 90 hours every 2 weeks. What is Shanake's basic wage? Cool. So in this case, it's every 2 weeks and it's a 90-hour fortnight. Okay, so the basic wage is equal to $300 per hour multiplied by the 90 hours, okay, for the 2 weeks. So 3 nines actually 27, so it's actually $27,000 every 2 weeks. All right. And yes, guys, people do get paid 27,000 Jamaican dollars every 2 weeks, right? Rough, don't. But that's life, all right? That's really how life goes. Okay. All right. So let's look at some more information. All right, guys. All right, guys. So that's it. And I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.